So I've walked the entire block at this point, and there's no way to get off this block. Our block is turned into an island. Yeah, the only way I can get off this block is if I walk through like 3 to 4 inches of water. But I don't want to do that to my shoes. And this isn't clean water once it's hit the street. I might just have to go for it.
The rain was really bad that night and it never let up. The next night was beautiful though. I got a little bit more footage of Landmark 81 from far away and just did a little bit of walking around at night. And then I finally made it to the Bitexco Financial Tower, which is that big building that has the helicopter pad on it. The building has an observatory. Last time I tried to go, they ended up closing just a couple minutes before I arrived. I arrived earlier this night and was finally able to make it up.
Two unfortunate things. One, we are right below the helipad. It is a helipad. I confirmed that it's a helipad, but the observation deck is right below it, so can't see it. It's right there. And then two, there's all of these lights that are on inside the observation deck, which are casting reflections on all the windows. And so there's a cool view, but you can see my reflection right there. The lights are ruining like almost any shot I can get to show off the view. Only on one side of the tower can you actually get a good photograph through the glass. Otherwise, you're just fighting reflections unless you slam your phone right next to the glass. And then you see like the smears of the glass and stuff. So that's a little bit of a downer. That said, this place is eerily similar to the One World Trade Center observation deck in New York. I came up here and it was kind of like deja vu. I'll put up some photos of what New York looked like. It's a bummer the reflections are so bad on all of these windows. It's quite difficult to get a good shot through the glass. The exit signs are really bright and end up being in like every shot unless you jam the phone against the window. Observation deck, and so it looks like there's a balcony actually right above us, and then there's one more room, and then this is the helipad. I can't scroll. Oh, I can scroll. So this is the helipad right there, which is directly outside. So if I get to the glass and look up, oh, we see mist reflection. How do I, oh, here, and go up right there. That's the helipad. That's the best shot I'm gonna be able to get of it. I lied. This is the best shot I can get of it. I thought we would be able to go walk out on that thing, but I guess it's not part of the observation deck. It is literally a helipad, so bummer. Is what it is.
The Financial Tower was the last major thing I wanted to vlog on this trip. I spent the remaining time in Ho Chi Minh City, exploring, walking around a bunch, eating like a king. I got some more footage of walking around Win Hue. They did events almost every single weekend when I was there. This time they were doing a big soccer event. They had a bunch of indoor cage soccer, a bunch of live music. I also went on a boat ride. I got to see Ho Chi Minh City from the water. There was a guy with a violin playing covers of popular songs while we floated down the river. Very romantic, very beautiful, highly recommend. I think it was around 12 USD. It was a great way to spend 45 minutes and take a break from all of the walking that I was doing. And then it was finally time to go back to the airport and head off to my next destination, heading to Chongqing, China. That's us right there. 2840E Nanjing 620. Let's do it. And nobody's yet here. It's 246. Flight leaves at 6:20, so that checks out. There's a lot of rain right now. I wasn't 100% sure how long it was going to take to actually get here, and I also wasn't sure how long it was going to take to get a grab, calling it at 2 o'clock in the morning. Turns out it only took 2 minutes, so that was pretty cool. And then the grab driver definitely was trying to set a speed record. We might have run over a couple scooters on the way, but wow, he made good time. So anyway, I ended up at the airport ridiculously early. When I was in Philippines, the airport ride took twice as long as it was supposed to due to the rain, and it took 20 minutes for the Grab driver to show up. Grab's been way more consistent in Vietnam, but I still wanted to give it some margin of error. This airport also can end up being insanely busy, and so I wanted to show up on the earlier side. That said, the only person in the airport, so maybe this was a little too early. So from my research, the Ho Chi Minh City airport is typically really busy, and you should arrive early to make sure you don't have any issues. Turns out there's a huge break between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. for flights. I just got to the airport at 3:30, or at 2 something. And it's completely empty because I'm in the middle of that break where a bunch of the flights leave at 2 and then a bunch of the flights start
the flights start back up again at 6. And so it's completely dead. So I have the airport basically to myself. Point being, this is supposed to be a really busy airport that's like super chaotic and stuff. I got through all of security and everything in like 7 minutes. This was one of the fastest airport experiences I've had ever. The lounge is supposedly 24 hours. Everything is closed right now. Not totally sure if that's going to be true, but I'm going to find out. I've successfully confirmed that the yogurt thing I was having at that coffee shop I really like was indeed passion fruit. It's 4 a.m. I've spent an hour in the lounge. Now I'm going to head to the gate. I am showing up to the gate pretty early, but depending on like how things shake out, sometimes when you're traveling, if the boarding starts at say 5:35, they'll start it a little early and just knock it out really quick and then just send the plane. I've never missed a flight because of that, but I have been really surprised. Like I've shown up well before departure, but just a little bit after boarding, and basically everyone's already on the plane. And because nobody's at this airport, it's so empty right now, I imagine things might end up going really fast. I'm gonna get to the gate really early and just be here. It's right there, the record. So now I'm here and going to get a good seat and head to